Quella raga, come state ragazzi? Siamo ancora una volta in Italia per fare una lezione di italiano avanzato. We're going to be doing a nice advanced Italian lesson today, covering part 2 in our Periodo Ipotetico series. If you haven't seen part 1, I will have it linked down below in the description. So what is the Periodo Ipotetico? Let's do a quick little review. Basically, this is just the form of Italian that we use when we are talking about if-then scenarios. What we covered in part 1 was il periodo ipotetico della realtà. Here, we are now covering il periodo ipotetico della possibilità, so something that is possible to happen. We begin with the congiuntivo imperfetto, and then we finish up in the second half of our sentence with the condizionale presente. You can also feel free to reverse the order of our equation, so you could feel free to begin your sentence with the condizionale presente and end it with the congiuntivo imperfetto. So, if you have not seen our videos on those topics, I will be linking them down below in the description bar. Let's begin with an example. Something that someone may tell you is, se piovesse, cosa faresti? This is now when we're talking about if it were to rain, what would you do? So, se piovesse, cosa faresti? If it were to rain, what would you do? Now, we could say that this also means if it were raining, what would you do? But in that situation, I would say, this is a personal preference, se stesse piovendo, cosa faresti? So now taking a gerundio form, using stare as basically an auxiliary verb, putting that in the congiuntivo imperfetto. So se stesse piovendo, cosa faresti? If it were raining, what would you do? Could I also say, cosa faresti se piovesse? Absolutely, it means exactly the same thing. What would you do if it were raining? And notice how also in English we say if it were raining. That is our subjunctive mood. That's our congiuntivo in English. However, speaking about if it were to rain, or should it rain, would you like to know how to say that? Se dovesse piovere, cosa faresti? Se dovesse piovere, cosa faresti? Similar to what we do in the conditional, we use the verb dovere when we want to say should. You can also do that with the periodo ipotetico. The only difference is you're going to be putting the verb for should, dovere, in the congiuntivo imperfetto. Here's another example. Se tu potessi vivere in Italia, quale città sceglieresti? If you could live in Italy, which city would you choose? Se tu potessi vivere in Italia, quale città sceglieresti? Now here, similar to what we do in the condizionale, I'm using the verb potere to mean could. And because this is a hypothetical thing, that's why potere takes on the meaning of could and doesn't just mean can or to be able to. See how cool that is? So you can get as creative as you want with these expressions. I'm just showing you them in the most sort of basic, direct form, but you can make much longer sentences. And you can even put multiple things together. For example, se tu fossi italiano, immagino che tu saresti molto felice di tornare in Italia dopo un lungo viaggio, vero? If you were Italian, I'd imagine you'd be really happy to come back to Italy after a trip, right? So you can get as advanced, as verbose as you'd like. Once you have your foundation set, and you know it, you know that basic equation, you can take this in any direction you want. That's what's so cool about this. Now this secondo grado del periodo ipotetico, il periodo ipotetico della possibilità is very, very common. We use this every day in Italian, and it's also beautiful grammar. If you are able to get this down, and even if it takes time, no worries, slow and steady wins the race. We say in English, right? Slow and steady wins the race. In Italian, we say chi va piano, va sano e va lontano. Chi va piano, va sano e va lontano. I know we also threw in a little bit of the gerundio before. that's great. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking it out. Be sure to take a look at the description box below for any additional videos, blog posts, all that other good stuff, and also to learn more about my live group lessons. Be sure to check out part 1 and part 3 of the Periodo Ipotetico series. And that's going to be it. Always remember to spread the love, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Ciao!